It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Greg Cherry Show. Thank you all for joining us. My name is Greg Cherry, the current, as of now, Wrestling Trivia Challenge champion. And I say that because the tournament's ongoing and the other semifinals tomorrow. We'll talk about that later. But alongside me with the most beautiful belt in all of wrestling, the WTC Jack of all trades champion, Jeff Meacham. Jeff, it's another Wednesday. We got some good stuff going on. We got a lot to talk about this show.
GregCherryBrand, Wolfpack in the house. I love my background. I love everything I'm wearing today. I'm having a good day, and it's been a busy day. Let me just fill everybody in on how my day's gone before we talk about what we got to talk about. I got here at the house. It's 7:00 Eastern, so I got here at 12:30 p.m. Eastern time today. 3 episodes of Dads. An episode of Trivia Challenge. You know what that means. And now the Greg Cherry Show live. So it's been a busy day, and I love every bit of it.
Yeah. So for perspective, I've actually recorded 2 episodes of trivia today. The finals earlier this afternoon, and right before we came on the air, we filmed the championship match, and that is one that you guys will have to check out. I mean, I plug every episode, but obviously you want to check out the championship match and see who makes at that point. We already know Brett Storm's in the finals, so you'll see that match next week. Tempest and SP3 in the semifinals tomorrow. Another great match. I mean, there's great matches closing the tournament because you really got the best of the best. And then the winner of next week's match faces yours truly.
Like I said, I'm going to retire from the World Championship.
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm out of that shit.
I was telling Jeff before we came on the air that like my brain just stopped functioning. Like I and you'll see it when the championship match airs. Like my brain is just all over the place.
He was in straight up Buffy the Vampire Slayer mode after graduation. Fired bad, tree pretty. That was pretty much it for Greg. And even that was a challenge.
Yeah. Thank goodness I at least get a good night's sleep before I have to go to work tomorrow.
Right. Jiminy
which fortunately here's where I work. So that's
nice. Yeah, you work where you sleep. I know those feels.
It's a good deal.
It is.
But speaking of one of our finalists, Brett Storm, because he's the one we know, he has graciously donated again. So we will have him on. Yes, Cody Reigns, absolutely. It was a pleasure having you.
I appreciate Cody appreciate Zach filling in just because last week was just knucking futz for me, so I appreciate it very much. It should be, now that this is actually installed in the thing, it shouldn't be an issue for me to be on every week again. It's just been kind of crazy around here, so should be good to go.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, so we're glad to have you back. Let's be honest, we're glad to have you back.
I appreciate
because I mean we just have a good rapport. We have for the last 16 years.
Right?
It's been that long.
Isn't that scary?
It is scary. Like it's hard to believe like the old XMV days were that long ago. Like granted, I only came in like on the tail end, but
right. I was going over with JJ today. 15 for Talk Wrestling, 20 for my time with No DQ, 20 for Ring of Honor, 20 for Impact, 20 since these guys showed up in WWE, 20 since the brand extension. Like 2022 is a bonkers banner year for wrestling.
10 years since I was at my last WrestleMania.
10, that's it. Well, with any luck, that countdown will end next April if we can all get everybody together.
That's the hope. I mean, Jen's on board, so we just got to save up.
Trust me, I got everybody that is not local pretty much on board. I'm going to talk to JJ and CC about, because I mean, they're going to be living in Ontario. It's not going to be like they have to be at the freaking B&B with all of us every freaking day. You know, that's kind of crazy.
That's not Ontario, Canada. That's
no, Ontario, California, for the record. Yeah, so they're
just wanted to clear it.
It's still a couple hours out of Englewood, so it's still a bitch of a drive. But they don't need to spend the extra money to stay at the B&B like you out of town kids. So you know.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Brett is gracious enough to donate to us.
As he do. Yes, we love that.
As he prepares to likely take my championship in a couple of weeks on March 3rd. If we're gonna be completely honest.
I guess the next 2 weeks building your confidence
man,
up, man.
He's scary.
Shit.
Like he is scary good. Like it's almost like not fair how good he is.
No, it's not at all. Like I said, I'm glad I'm retired.
Dude, I wish I was retired so I don't have to face it.
Here's the thing too. Like you have a heart attack. Win or lose,
Fan Quizlemania is tomorrow, and I have to go through. Like I'm not even on screen, and I feel like that anxiety because he's in there.
Right? It's the worst.
Like, it's just crazy.
Yes, it's the worst, but it's
because he's won it twice, and he'll probably win it tomorrow. But
shit. All right. For the love of God, no jumping jacks, because Greg's done enough puking today with all the nerves.
I'm hoping not, but let's just get it done. It's past the jumping jacks. We're good.
Tear the Band-Aid. That's it.
Entrance. Okay.
Nice.
Entrance. Sweet.
So they should be back.
Been a minute. Where's my phone?
Nothing to do.
So yeah, we'll do. We will do that. I'll just take that out of here just in case anybody decides to spin again. Chris LaBelle's asking, what happens to Jack of all trades? Is it coming on screen? There we go.
There it is.
What happens to Jack of all trades once the tournament ends?
Coming back.
It's coming back. Yeah, it's coming back. I'm not sure when in March because the tournament's the first Thursday of March, but it'll probably be put in that time slot. Because I like Jack of all trades. Yeah, it's very Quizlemania-esque. Like that's not. It's not a surprise to anybody. With which speaking of, I told Jeff this before. I told this Jeff before we went on the air. So like I have this thing. I go to YouTube every week so I can get the link so I can post it on my Twitter, plug it. And I didn't do that till about 2 minutes before the show.
Right.
And the first thing, and I always type in Greg Cherry Show because that's how I find it, because that's where the most recent episode, the one that's going to go live, is going to be. It's at the top of the results. Exactly. So I type in Greg Cherry. And the first thing that comes up under the like automatic fill thing is Greg Cherry Quizlemania.
It's a thing, folks.
I have not searched for that. I want to put that out there. I don't vanity search that much, but it is not something I've ever searched for on YouTube because I'm not on Quizlemania. So
right.
We might as well. I normally save it till the end, but I might as well play it now because we got a lot of viewers. Sean, what do you think should happen this coming Wednesday?
Greg Cherry for Quizlemania. Greg Cherry for Quizlemania. Greg Cherry for Quizlemania. Hashtag Greg Cherry for Quizlemania.
When you said you would fill for 10 minutes until RJ City got here, this is not what you promised me,
Greg Cherry
John.
for Quizlemania.
Stop pulling back the curtain, Sean Ross.
Do it.
So how?
Done.
That will never not have me fall out laughing. Swear to God.
I love Sean. I'd say that every week too. Sean is good people. Actually, you know what? Before Brett gives us his entrance, I do want to address something. I won't go into details with it, but for people who are on Twitter, there was a situation last week. Did not involve me. I do want to state that. But some people on wrestling Twitter decided to dox a fellow member of the wrestling community, and for the purposes of everybody's safety, I guess. I'm not going to like say who that was, but I'm just going to say this much. If you are that angry about someone being friends with somebody who disagrees with you about it, doesn't even have to be wrestling. Like if you are that upset that you will go to their friend's page, post all their personal information online, and you'll just completely invade their privacy, you're an asshole.
Oh yeah.
straight up. Like, you need help. Like, if you were that mad, get off of Facebook, get off of Twitter, get off of Instagram, off of TikTok, off of whatever social media you're using. Go the hell outside.
Get into nature, bitch. Seriously. Jeez.
Like, find something else to like. And like, you say nobody cares about Twitter like that. Some people do, and it's scary as shit. Like, when it gets to the point of invading people's private lives because you're so mad, not even at that person, but at somebody that they're friends with.
Yeah, that's obscene, stupid. That's next level sick. That really is.
It really is. Like, that's completely unnecessary.
It's ridiculous. It's so ridiculous, and you know it's completely. I'm trying to hold the mic to multitask here. Not my thing, kids, as we know. I've never understood the motivation behind that type of thing, and maybe people seem to think I either hate big or get really big hate a lot. I don't understand that level of hate for somebody where you go out of your way to access somebody's information because you dislike somebody who's friends with them. That's next level. What the hell? But yeah, it makes no sense to me. Zero sense to me at all.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense to me either. I don't understand why somebody would do that. And Curtis, I'm not going to go into who it was because that's not my business. It was not my situation. I just saw it happen. And
it was horrible to watch unfold. Yeah, it was dumb. Yeah,
and it was disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting that, like, there are human beings behind these profiles. At least most of them are normal. But those few that aren't, this is why I say that social media needs to verify everybody. Like, it should be a rite of passage, like having a driver's license to be able to use social media. And for the record, I think that, and this is like some like government regulated thing, and I'm not about government regulated things, but like for people's safety and to be able to find these people who are just anonymous trolls and whatnot, I feel like that would cut down on it.
Yep. On the flip side, it is people like that lead to shirts like this being created. It's like, I don't want to go outside with these friggin' people. They're insane.
I really need to buy it. If I'm ever on Quizzlemania, I need to buy that shirt and wear it on air.
Absolutely.
Because it's
trust me, after Sunday and the fact that I'm getting way more of a Super Bowl payout than I thought I was going to get, there's going to be some Greg Cherry shirts bought for me to wear on the shows. There's going to be some of my shit to wear on the shows and some equipment upgrades are coming, man. Woo. So
yeah, you made out like a bandit.
You know what's funny is my dad did more than me. That's the thing. My dad won one of the quarters. I just happened to get the 20% that the network got, which was nice. But yeah, we did very well Sunday, even though the Bengals lost. But it is what it is.
We'll talk about that in a minute. But I just saw this comment from Brett. Like, I just saw it. Okay.
If there was any chance of us not making money on a Greg Cherry entrance, this is the one.
Yeah. I'll play that. It's probably gonna get pinged by WWE, I'm sure. But
well, which song do you want him to use? How about that?
It doesn't really matter. Like, I'm gonna get pinged. If I use Roland, I'm gonna get pinged. If I get American Badass, I'm gonna get pinged. If I use one of his like Red Devil themes, I'm gonna get pinged because a lot of them are on Spotify.
Just curious which one he wants us to use.
I mean, it doesn't matter. The entrance is pretty much the same anyway.
It is.
So I'm gonna fix the camera. I'm gonna pick one.
Okay. Well, Greg does that.
This is gonna be interesting to see how I pull this off.
Right. Again, we try so very hard on this show not to get on the soapboxes and the political stuff or whatever, but that's just one of those things where people attacking for the sake of attacking is just, it's so, again, I can't, and again, I've also had the benefit of the burden and the benefit of growing older and growing wiser, I think, anyway. I feel like I'm wiser than I was during the XMB days, Lord knows. I don't feel the need to go on there and do that shit on social media. Like when we were doing the XMB days, oh yeah, we would constantly tear people down because we could. And that was a bad thing. And it really was a horrible character trait on all of our parts. So, and I own that we did that. And it was a mistake that we did it. And I still feel it's a mistake now here, 15 years or 16 years later. So if you guys are on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok with the sole purpose of being there to just tear their people down, for the love of God, shut your devices off and go out and go hug a friggin' tree, people. Seriously, just do that for me. It's
the reason I preach kindness on the show and why I try to preach kindness on Twitter, because there's so much negativity out there. I want to be a beacon of light for people. Like I don't want to like have people like praise me or anything, because that's ridiculous and I don't deserve any of that. But I at least want to be like, I want to be helpful. I want to be kind to people. I feel like that's how you move forward in this life, is be kind to people and other people will be kind to you.
The golden rule, kids.
Treat people how you want to be treated, or do unto others as you want done to you. All right. Now, after that, we're going to do something ridiculous, because that's what we do on the show, because we transition like a motherfucker.
Transitions.
All right. So let me put myself solo.
So low we can't hear you.
I don't have a ton of room, but here we go. Ready to get demonetized right away. Here it is.
That's right.
It's a carpeted floor. This is hard.
Give Fred the bro hug. Give Fred the bro hug.
There you go.
Oh. See, this is one of those where we should have had it like this. So that way you can see me in the back, because I was doing this the whole time during the chorus.
I mean, you really could have done the whole.
I was doing this the whole time during the chorus. I didn't want to take away your solo stream, because this is your show. I'm along for the ride.
Curtis has linoleum next time. I wasn't planning to do a motorcycle entrance on carpet.
What's great about the irony is I've got the hard floor, but I'm in a folding chair until my other chair gets over here. So definitely next
time I do a show out on my new deck, I can do that a little better.
When the weather isn't so batshit outside.
Yeah. Last time bugs like ate me alive.
Right. Dude, Teresa got snow in Ontario, California yesterday and the day before.
Jeez. It's like 50 something here.
My 4-year-old niece has never seen, my almost 5-year-old niece has never seen snow before. So she was loving life, man. She was digging it. So it was cool.
I felt so bad coming home Tuesday night from poker. I saw somebody, it was either Tuesday night or I think it was Tuesday, but I was coming up the hill and somebody's car was like stuck in the snow because they had gotten plowed in.
Oh man, that's brutal.
Like the plow came back and kind of like packed them in with snow. So like they probably couldn't get out.
That sucks. Yeah, like I said, I've been back to see him and Jen once, and it was in January because I'm an idiot. And we were out on the deck.
I bet this would be fun because, like, I have hydraulics on my chair, so I can move it up and down.
Okay, somebody have him spin the wheel and land on the entrances. I want to see that right now. That's awesome. Viva la raza in the freaking desk chair. That's tremendous. Yeah. Yeah, we did one show, or we tried to do one show out on the old deck of the house, and then my manager decided it was time to snow, so we ended up in the basement instead, the furthest away from it possible.
Well, yeah, we did an entire show in -2-degree weather. Yeah, like it wasn't like a 2-minute blip; it was like a 15-minute show, no breaks, no nothing. We just did the entire show, came in, had hot chocolate, and like warmed our faces up for like an hour. It was insane.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we were out there. It was cold, and it hadn't started snowing until the very, very end of when we were recording. And it was, we're just sitting there, just casually doing our thing. And then we, okay, oh shit, get inside because it just all of a sudden, like, oh my god. So yeah, it'll be a summer visit next time, if anything.
There you go. Join us for Luck of the Draw.
Oh yeah, because that's less messy.
Hey, I might be having people come in from out of state for Luck of the Draw this year. I don't know.
We honestly, if you guys are going to come out here for Mania, we got to get Luck of the Draw people to come out here too, and just do it out there in the courtyard of the Airbnb if we end up staying there.
I was going to say, like, just the people that we have in the house. Why don't we do it with them?
I'm okay with that. I know you are okay with that. I don't know how Jen feels about the game. Some of the people in the house are a little bit iffy about being messy. So I don't know. We'll see.
I know one of the people you mean, but you figure like it would be a good time. It's for the content, people. For the content.
Exactly. But again, that's a whole other year away. So
yeah.
God, the Mania is getting closer, man. We got the Chamber and the No Surrender for the shows this weekend, so it's getting closer.
Yeah, I won't be able to watch that live.
Right.
I'm attending like some kind of conference, but
okay.
Yeah, I will be catching up on that on the drive home, I'm sure.
Right. Yeah. I'm actually gonna go. I cancel the watch along. I don't want to be up at freaking 7:00 my time on a Saturday.
Well, did you hear that NXT Stand and Deliver is going to be at 11:00 the morning of WrestleMania?
Dude, piss on them for that. What the hell?
I don't know if it's 11 local time. Yeah, I don't know if it's 11 local time in Dallas or if it's like, but it's like, man, you guys, like, I thought when we were doing the 2-day Manias, we were splitting it up, and now you're like adding like another 3-hour show to it. It's like, oh my goodness.
Some of us do watch-alongs on those days, WWE. Unity 8. Jesus, wear a helmet. Oh my god.
Well, let's get off the wrestling talk briefly because the Super Bowl just happened. What a freaking game that was.
Yes. I'm not mad because I'm an LA boy. I'm disappointed for my dad, obviously, because the Bengals, could have had their first championship ever. But the Rams hit the goal. When Stan brought them home, that was the goal. Get back to the dance. And they did it. And they did it at home, which is even better.
Yeah. Even though they were the visiting team.
Stupidest thing. Like, I get it, but
we've been over this too. Like, it's so stupid. Like, the Pro Bowl should mean something. Like, who cares about the Pro? Like, it was not even the same day as the Rumble. I'm like, yeah, screw the Pro Bowl. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't want you. There's zero reason to watch the Pro Bowl. Number one, you're not going to see the guys playing the championship game because they're not going to get hurt the week before. They only got a week. It ain't going to happen. It's like the NHL All-Star game, which, there's guys from every team that aren't the entire core of every team going to the All-Star games in the NHL or the NBA. MLB is an All-Star as an event, man. You got the home run derby, you got the game. It doesn't mean shit now because there's no World Series home advantage like there used to be, but it's still fun to watch, at least the derby anyway. So the Pro Bowl is completely friggin' useless. Completely useless weekend.
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything because like the AFC could win one year, and then like I think the NFC is going to be the home team for the Super Bowl next year anyway. So it's like, what the hell does it matter?
I'm just glad that they actually let the Rams use their own locker room, because obviously they're going to do that. But I forgot that Chargers also play this, so they had the Bengals play dress in the Chargers room, which is fine.
Yeah.
So,
Cool Brothers Radio Podcast. Appreciate you for joining us today. What do you think Sixburg is going to do a quarterback this upcoming season? I have no freaking clue. Like, I don't think the Aaron Rodgers situation is going to happen. I really don't.
No,
because those talks have kind of died down, and it was probably just all rumors anyway.
Right.
They may have to resort to drafting a quarterback. I've seen some people wanting them to trade up for a quarterback. This quarterback class is not strong enough to trade up, if I'm going to be completely honest. And maybe you just hope that a quarterback falls to you where a quarterback is in a need.
Right.
I really don't know, because I've seen Jimmy Garoppolo talked about. Now he's talking about going to Philly. There's just so many possibilities. I know one thing. I do not want it to be Mason Rudolph.
To be who? I'm sorry.
Mason Rudolph is not the answer in Pittsburgh.
No,
he just
not.
isn't.
Nope. I don't know if I want. I mean, Rodgers is such a shit show. I don't even know if I want to subject you guys to that. It's just when he's on, there's nobody like him. But I will say this: the fact that he got NFL regular season MVP here's the one for the day. You already lost your money anyway. The fact that fucking Cooper Kupp was not the MVP of the regular season is bullshit. The Rams wouldn't have been there without him. Period. End of sentence. And then Rodgers, he was so inconsistent all year. How is he the MVP of the league? That's bullshit. That's heaping mounds of shit.
I am just glad TJ Watt's Defensive Player of the Year.
Oh, that was definitely deserved. That TJ Watt was a stud this year.
If he would not have got it after tying the sack record of Michael Strahan, I would be like, what the hell does he have to do? Get 40 sacks in a season?
Seriously. Yeah, he should have been defensive player a long time ago. So the fact that he got it, I'm happy for TJ. I like TJ. So
Curtis Butler with the comment of the stream. Maya Rudolph is better than Mason Rudolph.
Maya Rudolph is
massive pop. Massive pop. I love
Major call for that. You know, it's funny. I talk about the SNL people in their post SNL worlds. I have zero interest in watching that show about the Tiger King Carol saga, except that Kate McKinnon is playing Carol. I'm like, oh, because I love Kate. She's so funny. And I'm like, I don't know what to do, because that Tiger King Carol Bassett thing was so utterly like the very essence why I hate reality TV for the most part, because it makes my brain bleed.
I mean, it was prime pandemic viewing, that Tiger King.
You said everything right there.
Yeah, the new definition of PPV, prime pandemic viewing.
That's it, because we can't use WWE anymore, apparently.
No, they're premium live events, which I guess makes more sense than pay-per-view, because technically they're not on pay-per-view anymore.
No.
So the change of terminology, this is one of those times where WWE's terms or terminology like change ups, it actually makes sense. It's weird because it'll take time to get used to, and I'm sure people will still call them pay-per-views because that's what we've been used to. It's what we've been conditioned to do for like 30 some years. But it's one of those things that it's like, it makes sense.
What's funny though,
Jeff, you may get your wish, by the way.
Oh,
because Brett donated again.
There we go. Thank you, Brett. I will say this. People 20 years ago were saying, whatever you say, we'll always call it the WWF. So
there's still some people out there that call it WWF.
Well,
and it's been 20 years.
Well, okay.
It's people who don't watch the product. Let's be honest.
I'm gonna say, yeah. Here we go.
All right, let's pull the wheel up. Let's see if we can't hit entrance again. If it's jumping jacks, you may have to either convince somebody else to donate, or, well, I'm not going to make you donate. That's not fair to ask. But we'll see what happens.
I actually pulling for entrance, or you know what? I'm feeling froggy today. So land us on truth. I'd be okay with that too today.
All right.
I'm having a froggy kind of week.
Asking you shall receive, Jeff.
There we go. All right. Ask me anything, and I mean anything.
Everybody's getting what they wanted. Yeah, Brett, do not make it a wrestling question. I'll tell you that right now. I know you like to make it wrestling questions because you don't like to ask us personal stuff. Figure out a good one. Let's get real on this show.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I've had people dance around asking me about the people involved in the show you brought up earlier, back when we first became friends.
Yeah.
If you ask me about that, I will say whatever I need to say today. How about that?
The people want the realness, Jeff. That's what they want.
They do. They absolutely do. And it's funny. Every year that memory comes up of you talking about the DVD that never was.
I so wanted to produce that.
I know.
I was ready.
I would do it in a heartbeat, dude. You know I would. So would Aaron. We would. But
like, I would have had a fun time. I don't know if Tariff would have done it because I think he hated me.
No, I don't think Josh is interested in doing anything lower level in wrestling than he already has become. So whatever.
But you know, it's 2022 now. The time is long past for that. Like it would make sense to anybody.
Yeah. I honestly feel bad in a couple ways. Number one, other than the episode where I auditioned for Rocky Horror, we can't air any of those. They are so not politically correct at all. Any of them.
No. They aged like a fine milk.
Yeah, they did. Well, not even fine milk. They aged like freaking goat milk. For real. But I will say this. I enjoyed those times in the times we were enjoying them. And if there was a way to get everybody together again and have the magic, then I would do it. The thing is, it was a show that was right for its time. But I look back now and I go, I do feel bad that none of the other people that were on that show with me full time get the recognition that I seem to because of doing talk wrestling the last 15 years, because XMV was really good when it was good.
It was, I'll say this, it was entertaining. It was absolutely entertaining. And you have to, if you ever get to watch the episodes, which you probably won't, and you probably shouldn't, honestly, but if you ever had the opportunity to watch them, you need to watch them and recognize the time frame they were in. Like it's the reason why Peacock censors stuff from the Attitude Era, and even some from the Ruthless Aggression. It's like it worked for the time, but now not so much.
Seriously, having attended WrestleMania 2000 and having that entire Ice-T intro edited out, I go, yeah, I understand why they did that. Because number one, it wasn't in tune, it wasn't in sync, and it flat out sucked. And it's Ice-T doing rap, with pimps. It's not a good look.
So Brett wants us to shoot on each other a little bit. He's asking the biggest pet peeve that the other person does, and follows that up with, what's one thing the other person does that you don't like?
I can tell you his for me right now.
What is it?
Consistency. I am the most inconsistent friend he has, I think. And I don't follow through on. What's that? I don't follow through on shit. I'm horrible about that. It's just one of those where, like, even like he and Jen wanted to talk to me just to chat the other night on StreamYard, and I've put it off all week. I just keep forgetting because my brain is so rattled with memory crap. So, well,
in that instance, I'll take the blame because, like, you were ready to go at our scheduled time to do that chat, and then we just kind of went to bed. So I'll take a little hit for that one.
Okay. But honestly, what's your answer to that now? As he asked right now. How about that?
I mean, you kind of hit the nail on the head. Honestly, I'm more interested to see what you have to say about me, because I'm sure there's something. There's got to be.
Well, and honestly, his is the answer that everybody gives. JJ will tell you the same thing. Aaron will tell you the same thing. Everybody that's hosted shows with me or tries to do shit with me on streams, the exact same answer is the case, which is why I've tried so hard to not be that guy this year. Hasn't worked out the whole year, but we're working on it. It's February 15th. Give me a break. This is going to sound like a cop-out. I really can't think of anything you do or don't do that really bugs me to that level. Like, and I'm not trying to put you up on a freaking pedestal or a shrine or whatever.
It's because I'm adorable.
Well, that goes without saying. we just went a whole different direction with the show. That's okay. Honestly, if it's gonna be anything, it's that you. And again, I don't know if it's again, sorry for the F word. If it's your mind fucking your own self, it's your confidence in yourself in trivia situations, especially in the last, since our Iron Man match, you have been constantly like seeing these people come up and worry. I've been watching this shit for 32 years at the end of this year. You are the most knowledgeable wrestling trivia dude I have ever seen in my life as a wrestling fan. And the fact that you're not a cocky prick about it makes you an even better person than I think you already are. So own your shit. You are the freaking man. There is a shirt that you created. Yes, I'll give you. But you are the greatest wrestling trivia mind of our time. And you need to start realizing that you need to be able to walk around, with your scoops presented, because you're the fucking man, dude. Seriously.
That's not just a wrestling trivia thing. I think the whole confidence thing in general, and this is me, like, I think this is the realest we've ever been on the show. Not that we're not real, like we're not authentic, but like this is like real deep shit. Like the confidence thing it's a bitch sometimes. It really is. Like there are times where I think I'm doing great stuff, like, and like you see it, like I like following people on Twitter that are successful. Like I do, like people that have a lot of shows, people that are doing things I want to do, and it's great. And it's great interacting with these people. It's awesome. But at the same time, it's like, it's always in the back of your mind. It's like, when is it going to be my turn?
Right.
It's like the whole Quizomania thing. Like I would love to do it. I understand why Adam, might not want me to do it because he'll think I'll just dominate the whole thing, but it's not straight wrestling trivia. No. Like I've lost fan Quizomanias before, a bunch of them. Yeah. So it's not like it's out of the realm of possibility, but it's like, it gets so frustrating because like I almost take it personally, Yeah. It's one of those things that it's like, I try to be a good person. I try to like interact. I try to be kind. I think of how many people I've had from Wrestle Talk on our shows. Like Adam's been on, Tempest has been on, Andy Datson's been on, Sat's been on, SP3. I know technically those last two aren't part of Wrestle Talk, but like it's the fact that I've had people like in that circle be on the show. So it's not like there's not that like not that they owe me anything. I don't want to like put it out there. Oh yeah, they owe me because I had them on my show and now I should be on their show. That has nothing to do with it. It's just I don't even know what I'm trying to say here, but
here's my thing in that vein. I feel the same. Like and again, I don't resent the fact that I got my start with the Mayhem, no DQ, whatever you wanted to call it when we first started, right? Yeah. But I see the fact that will always be part of who I am in the greater internet wrestling community. The fact that people that I know for a fact, the people in the towers have been like, are interviewing their talent. And I'm not going to name any name because I love every single person that I'm trying not to single out right now. Because I do. I love those people and I love that they're successful. But it's like, I've been doing this shit for 20 fucking years. And I can't get the WWE to realize that I'm not the same 19-year-old shithead that was, razzing on Hunter for dressing like Kane and raping a mannequin corpse. Like, I'm not that same kid anymore. But I will always be that kid to them in Titan Towers, in the promoter's eyes. I will always be internet wrestling no DQ guy, and I won't get to do interviews long form like our friend Denise Salcedo, like our buddy Chris Van Vliet. Like people like that get to do the interviews because they didn't allow themselves to come off as shitheads the first 3-4 years of their time in front of camera, like I did.
Yeah.
And again, I don't regret anything because you can't look back and regret. You have to just say, okay, that shit happened. It is what it is. It is what it was. You know, without doing XMV, I wouldn't have had Talk Wrestling. Without doing XMV, I wouldn't have this guy as a friend. And I wouldn't have met, you know, JJ and had this amazing extended family / circle of friends that I have now without XMV, Talk Wrestling, no DQ, any of that. So I can't begrudge what I did because of what I have now. Do I dislike the fact that I can't interview these people in long form like Lita, like Mickey James, like Roman Reigns, like the people involved in AEW right now? Yes, and it sucks and it bugs. But I enjoy doing this with you every Wednesday. I enjoy the fact that I've been at work, you know, almost a full work day today, just recording and live streaming because that's what I enjoy doing. Are we the greatest show on the internet? No, we're not. We're not even close. I don't think. Is my network the greatest variety of stuff? I'm trying, but it's a bitch. You know, he's had more variety than I've had in the brief years he's been on. You know, he's got the game shows, he's got the trivia, he's got, you know, this show. He has a good variety. I don't. I'm a wrestling channel. I'm trying to make that difference. So, but it's taken 20 years of perspective and 20 years of going, maybe I better change my approach. So, yeah, the confidence thing is definitely both of our Achilles heels for me. I co-sign on that 100%.
Yeah, and like there's a lot more out there too. That like the possibilities are out there. Let's not understate that enough. Like if AEW came like knocking at our door, I'm sure we'd be like, "Hey, how's it going, Tony?
Come on in,
but
have a seat."
Yeah. And Brett, yeah, like Brett, I'm pretty sure, like, and correct me if I'm wrong, that prior to being on WTC and Jack of All Trades, that you really hadn't done like on camera stuff before. I think you've become more accustomed to it. I don't want to take credit for that, but like, it's one of those things where unless you like get to doing it, unless you're comfortable talking in front of like anybody, because I'm gonna be honest, like I always say I have the Johnny Carson syndrome. Like if I'm in front of like a small group of people, like actually connecting, I like shrivel up like a raisin and like try and hide because I'm not a very social person in that aspect because I have like super bad social anxiety. But this right here, like I get to talk to the people in the chat, I get to talk to you, and it's easy. Right. It's so weird the difference that this is. And it's not like, oh, hey, look at me. You put a camera in my face and I light up. I mean, it kind of feels like the case for me. But, man, I feel like we went like 15 minutes with just Brett's question.
Honestly, the greatest example of the confidence thing being the best thing to ever happen for me is with Aaron. Because when I walked away from Talk Wrestling, when I walked away from ODQ over a decade ago during the summer of Punk, he could have very easily shriveled up and that channel could have died on the vine. And he chose to step in front of the camera. And damn it, if he didn't take the ball, it's a sports reference for Aaron, so the irony's not lost on me. But he took the ball right to the end zone, man. And he's got a team of people that want to be on his shows because he took the ball that I had tried to walk home with and said, nope, my ball still, thank you. And he did it. He's done a great job. And I admire the shit out of him for that. I really do.
And it's basically brought him his living the last over a decade plus with just him being on camera.
Yep. You figure he pays his rent and his bills between YouTube and the site itself.
Yeah. Not bad for somebody who started when he was 15.
Right? That's the scariest thing of all.
We can hit the Q&A now. Assuming nobody wants to take another spin on the wheel, watch me do an Eddie entrance.
I mean, I feel at the point I turned 15 years old, I was finishing up a spring ball of my sophomore year of football and realizing, nope, not happening. Because I couldn't deal with the politics of the coaches anymore. I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't deal with basic high school stuff. Mother efforts doing basic life stuff, running a website and making money off it. Dude, regardless of what people think of Aaron, I know people have different opinions about Aaron, and a lot of times you and I have different opinions about Aaron, to be honest with you. But I admire the chutzpah. I go, you know what? I know I can do this. I'm going to do it. Anyway, Q&A. Sorry about that.
All right, so we are going to hit up the Q&A. I did see this one earlier, asked by Cody. Come on, StreamYard, work with me. And this is a you question. Would you rather have Dak Prescott or Troy Aikman?
In his prime, Troy Aikman in a heartbeat. Aikman is the reason I became a Cowboys fan.
Oh, well, there you go.
Because they drafted Aikman out of UCLA, which is hometown, baby.
Let's see what else we got here.
There's a whole lot today, which is interesting. But
yeah, send in your questions. Doesn't matter what it's about. Go for it.
That's right. We are watching Dynamite tonight, though, for the records.
Yes. How do you book Cody's WWE return? And of course, the hashtag Cherry for Quizlemania. I need to do a Twitter Q&A and be like, use the hashtag Greg Cherry for Quizlemania. Not a bad idea, but I don't know if I have the Twitter interaction to make anything of that.
I can try.
How do you book Cody's WWE return? I've heard a couple different scenarios. How would you do it?
God, it's first of all, I wouldn't. If I was Cody, I wouldn't do it. But that's neither here nor there, I guess, at this point. See, that's the hard thing, because with Cody coming back now and Hunter being basically out of the picture, who do you put him with? Because Cody's whole thing was he felt that WWE management and by association Hunter had no faith in him. So when he made that debut, he destroyed the throne of the King of Kings. The King has lost his throne, had it scooped up out from underneath him and tossed into the refuge. So I don't know what you do with Cody. You know, do you put him against Rollins, like was talked about in the chat earlier? Do you put him in the title picture right away? Because like Cody went from literally doing a weird offshoot version of his brother to being Cody friggin' Rhodes and tearing up the Indies and Ring of Honor and then forming his own company. So I honestly, and again, this is going to sound like really bad lip service toward Cody, and I'm not trying to, but I do adore Cody. I adore the Rhodes family. I always have. But I think Cody leaving and going back to WWE in the process is a step down for Cody.
I feel like if he was negotiating with WWE, that he would want a world championship run in his contract.
Yeah.
Like that is really the only reason for Cody to go back, is like, I am negotiating somewhere in the course of this contract, I have a world championship run. Because what else, honestly, is there for him to do in WWE? He's been Intercontinental Champion. He's been Tag Team Champion. He's had a couple different gimmicks. A main event run for Cody Rhodes is kind of where he's leading.
And that's really the only thing I can see being a viable option at this point. I mean, really.
I would not have him beat Reigns. I would probably have him go win the WWE title.
Yep.
I would not have him beat the guy to beat Reigns.
Yeah. It's.
I don't know who beats Reigns at this point, but it's not going to be Cody Rhodes.
No.
We'll
see. It's just,
Yeah. So I would probably book him. If you're going to bring him on for WrestleMania, throw him into the WWE title picture. As long as Brock doesn't win, that's what I would do. Because it should have been Shane, but
it really should have.
Anthony, in that same vein, do you see Cody showing up next week on Raw or SmackDown? Monday Night Raw would be my guess.
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw needs a shot in the damn arm, and Cody Rhodes, I feel like, would do that.
Yeah. Raw definitely needs that superstar moment, and whether Steve Austin shows up or not, which would also be cool.
I'm amazed we've gone the entire hour almost and haven't talked about that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it seems so obvious now with Kevin just running down Texas Monday night. It seems like, really? Shit writes itself. If Cody's not on Raw this week, I would say SmackDown's unlikely because Raw needs it more. Raw needs Cody more. I really think.
If it's not Raw this week, it'll be the Raw after Mania, because Raw after Mania always has those big moments.
Especially now with the crowd back.
Don't bring him in for WrestleMania, because if you're not bringing him in like to build up a program for him, a match, him as a surprise at WrestleMania, I don't think he'll hit the same as it will be for the Raw after.
Yep, agreed.
And let's be honest, last year's Raw after Mania in the Thunderdome was a disaster.
And that's the thing.
There was
Raw
nothing
Mania
memorable on that show.
Yeah, Raw after Mania needs that crowd, that crowd energy. It really does.
Brett's trivia question. How many times has the WWE Championship main event at a WrestleMania since the Universal title was introduced? I'm pretty sure it was just 36.
Since the
33 was
introduced?
Yeah.
33
was Reigns Taker. 34 was Universal.
Yep.
With Reigns and Lesnar. 35 was the women.
Yep.
36 would have been Drew and Lesnar, so that one. And then 37 was the SmackDown Women's Championship and the Universal Championship. So
yeah,
just,
36,
36,
which was the no crowd Mania, is the only time. Yeah.
Yeah.
0 as far as live crowds go.
Yep, just Mania night too. Thought so.
That's why you guys are the man when it comes to trivia. I'm just sitting here hosting the show. But again, Brett's in the finals. We'll see if Tempest gets through. We'll see if who's facing Tempest. I'm sorry, I forgot.
SP3.
SP3. Sorry, SP3. I apologize. We'll see who gets through. So that's no, I guess.
Do you have Cody take out Theory and win the Chamber Leg Edge? Don't debut him at the Saudi show.
No.
You won't get that talked about. Like, don't debut him at the Saudi show. Debut him in front of a U.S. crowd that'll care.
Yeah. And again, this Saudi show and the last one were built way better than the other ones. But yeah, you want that U.S. crowd to give Cody that feedback for sure.
Last Saudi show was the best one they've done.
Oh yeah, definitely. And this one's been at least decently built. We'll see how they execute on Saturday. But I've enjoyed the build for this one more than I thought I would.
Do you guys think the Bengals stay competitive next season? It's hard for them not to.
Yeah.
It depends on how many pieces of the puzzle come back.
Yeah.
I really hope it lights a fire under the Steelers' ass, because it's like, hey, they represented the North in the Super Bowl, which means they were good enough to get there. So we got to figure out our stuff. The standard is the standard, and the standard needs to be raised, quite frankly. You need to do better than the standard. You need to go up and above. So, yeah, they'll probably stay competitive. I don't see them completely falling off a cliff. I mean, as long as the Bengals offensive line protects Joe Burrow, they should be fine. They really should be. A lot of people question what the refs did, like not throwing flags until the last 2 minutes of the game. But hey, the Bengals got away with murder on one of those freaking plays, the face mask to Jalen Ramsey.
Right.
So they both kind of got even out really bad calls and no calls from the refs.
I will say this. If the fan base or if the team is finding reasons to blame the ref for the loss, they're part of the problem, not the solution. You can't blame the refs on that one. What's that?
They can't blame the refs on that one. I mean, I understand the timing is a penalty gave the Rams a first down, first and goal. It's that stuff happens, man. And yes, there was a couple a pass interference or a hold that was definitely a questionable call because I didn't see it. But again, the Bengals got away with one and scored a touchdown on it. So you can't complain too much because it had that touchdown been taken back, maybe the Rams with that drive just go ahead by 10. You don't know.
No.
And don't put yourself in a position to lose.
Hindsight armchair, booking of anything with blaming the officiating is just the lowest form of post-game bitching you can think of. It really is. It's terrible.
Yeah.
Curtis, bite the chicken back into your bile system. Good grief. Ugh, no. No Cody and Brandy versus Ms. Maurice. That's a bad Curtis.
Based on reports, Brandy's not signing. It's just Cody.
Really? Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, Brandy was not too fond of the E when she left either. I mean, she wasn't doing a whole lot anyway.
I mean, she was just a ring announcer there.
Yeah. I will say this, though. If they do sign them both, at least it'd be between two real couples this time. Anyway. Carry on. Next question.
Two real couples?
Yeah, Cody and Brandy versus Miz and Maurice, as opposed to Miz and Maurice's last mixed tag match at Mania.
Oh, mixed tag. Oh, yeah. Okay.
I
thought I was like, wait a minute. Like Edge and Beth are a real couple.
I know.
Mania tag. Gotcha.
Mania.
Dwayne's asking, will Kyle Trask replace Tom Brady or will they trade for a more experienced quarterback?
We talked about that. The quarterback pool is so shallow. No. No. They need to have Kyle step in there and see what happens.
You never know what's going to happen come April. You really don't, because
right.
Trades could happen to get better draft picks. That's why I don't do like fantasy drafts or anything like that. I don't like do the mock drafts, because it's like after the second pick, everything could completely change. Like teams could trade up that you don't think would trade up, and you can't predict that stuff. Like it's harder to predict than the freaking like national championship for college basketball, like March Madness. It's harder to predict than that because there's so many moving pieces. You don't know what's going to go what direction. So Tampa Bay, I'm sure, is not worried about their quarterback problem yet. Come April, it'll be more in their mind, and we'll see what happens with the preseason and all of that. There's still a long way to go. I'm going to miss, honestly, talking about football for a few months.
Yeah.
There's no XFL. There's no like arena football. I mean, arena football is what it is, but I don't think there's no alternate leagues that are going on right now that we're like diehard about, you know?
Yeah, and it's one of those. I think that's why Mikey chooses to take the hiatus after NFL, because he's not passionate enough about anything else sports wise. So,
hey, speaking of sports, congratulations, Sid, on your 500th career goal last night.
There you go, that boy, Sid. Right on.
And they won the game against the Flyers in overtime, so even better.
Which is always good for Pittsburgh. It's always going to beat the Flyers. So.
Oh yeah, especially at home.
Right. Never a bad thing to beat the crosstown rival at home.
Curtis says some team will take a flyer on Minshew or Trubisky. I hope it's not Pittsburgh.
Right? Jesus.
Oh, the USFL is coming back. I think Pittsburgh has a USFL team, if I'm not mistaken. They're not black and gold, though, so that's weird. It's either the USFL or Pittsburgh's getting an XFL team. I don't remember, but I saw Pittsburgh is getting like a lower level football team, and I can't remember. But the colors are like purple and yellow. It's weird.
Because the USFL was a 45 produced endeavor, and that fell flat on its ass. So I don't know. We'll see.
You know, I'll look that up after we go off the air.
Yeah, definitely. Because
Pittsburgh Maulers. That's what it is.
It is Wednesday. Oh, what is it?
The Pittsburgh Maulers.
Oh, okay. Well, no. What I mean is, who started the league back up is what I'm wondering. So
I couldn't tell you.
That
but anyway,
weird. Yeah. Anyway,
it is about that time for Dynamite, and we want to get you there as quickly as we possibly can. So thank you all for joining us. Brett, I'll see you tomorrow for Fan Quizlemania, I'm sure.
Yes.
I might see more of you if you go sign up to Wrestle Talk's Patreon. I'm plugging. See, this is why I should be on Quizlemania. I plug Wrestle Talk's shit when I'm not even on their channel.
Isn't that crazy?
My goodness. They got a lot of good stuff, though. So go check that out. Go check out Wrestling Trivia Challenge. Tomorrow is Tempest versus SP3. Yes, season 10 rolls on. It's 10 seasons, man. It's been on forever.
Crazy?
It is crazy. But thank you again very much for joining us. We will see you tomorrow on WTC, and we will see you next week right here on the Greg Cherry Show.